Dave, Kristen, welcome to On Purpose.
Hey, Jay.
Hi.
Benny, come on.
Hey.
Did you know what? This is the first time we've had 3 people on the show together.
Yeah.
First ever time.
Did you know that?
This is the first time
I do
someone
now.
has come on their own with their fiance, then wife, and now with their best friends.
Yeah.
So we've never done that before either.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm
Benny,
breaking all sorts of
you're breaking all
ground.
sorts of records. You're competing with Michelle Obama, who's been on the show twice. You've been on 3 times. This is your 3rd time. So Dave, I'm a huge fan.
Thank you.
Always have been.
Right back
Told you
at
that
ya.
the first time I met you.
I've known you for maybe under a year, but I love you.
Oh, thank you,
It's
man.
been ever since I've met you. I've loved you.
Wow, I
Yeah, I
appreciate
do.
it.
Yeah.
Notice how
That's
he
right.
doesn't say it back.
I know he loves me, but
Yes, I said it already.
yeah, he just said he did.
Oh, he
started
did?
it.
I was
Yeah.
caught up in his eyes. It's
Yeah.
very hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard to look.
And Kristen, I've become a huge fan of you. I can't believe that.
I'm
That
glad.
you're
I'm
finally
glad.
here. We're here.
I'm glad that you still like me.
But honestly, the guys, this is awesome. It's so great to have all 3 of you in the room. I actually want to know how you all 3 met, because I have no idea. I don't think I've ever asked you that before.
Well, I guess I'm the glue between the 2 of the 3. You know, I met Benny. He basically, from the day I put any music out, he actually, the first day I released anything, he tweeted like something positive about me.
Wow.
Yeah, so he, like, it was, you know, what a first day to have a guy like him reach out. And then I like said something, we like kind of communicated back and forth a little bit, and then we almost saw each other at one of my concerts, and we didn't really hang out. And then the first time we met,
No, we don't know.
we don't know for sure when the very first, we can't place it. My memory of like the first real memory I have is we met at this Mexican restaurant, and I think he was maybe trying to sign me, or maybe just trying to explain the value that he could add to my life and my career. And I really didn't see any value added potential.
That's what he said.
It was like a date.
Did you say that to him on
He
the...
said, well, what can you bring to the table? And I was like, what? That was like his first thing he said to me.
Now, in hindsight, I was totally wrong.
Yeah.
What can I bring to the
He
table?
brings everything.
Best friend, all of your
brings everything.
nightlife.
Wait, so
Everything.
how did you
Brings
win him
everything.
over? How did you win him over?
Just proof in the pudding.
Yeah, I think it was instant.
Also, independent of our respective talents merging and being able to add to each other's talent careers, we would be best friends if we were like in Arkansas and we both were plumbers. You know what I mean? Like we just are born to be best friends. And then I met Kristen years later, and then they met because
Wait. I want to know how you guys met.
Yeah, don't just
I wasn't
gloss
glossing
over
over it.
Yeah, that's an
Kristen.
important
yeah.
detail.
I wasn't.
You tell the story.
I met Kristen years later, bowling alley. A writer on my TV show, Vanessa, kind of set us up, and Kristen didn't know that I was going to more or less
Scout me.
scout her
I was being scouted
as
that
a
night.
romantic.
Not for the show.
No.
No,
for
like
life.
as a romantic partner.
Wow.
I always told Vanessa, because I love this woman, Vanessa, who's one of the main writers on my show, and she's a great person. I always said, keep it, because I was just a hopeless romantic single guy for like a decade. And I would say, don't you have any friends? Don't you know anybody? And then she would say, yeah, I'm looking around. And then Kristen had been in a relationship for pretty much her whole life. And then she kind of got
Separate
single
ones.
for like a 3-week period. And then Vanessa was bowling with her, and she realized, oh my God, Dave. And then she texted me while she was at the alley being like, hey, I don't know what you're doing. It was like 10 p.m. And she was like, I don't know what you're doing, but I'm with someone who might be your wife. And I dropped everything I was doing and immediately went over there late, joined them late. They were already done bowling by the time I got there. So I got to take everyone's turn. And then we just started talking about nachos.
Didn't you bowl a strike?
You
I
bowled a strike.
bowled a strike. First thing I did, I bowled a strike. Like that was my
Wow.
first.
How did you pull that out?
I just am a good athlete,
I didn't
high-level
see
athlete.
it though.
Oh, you didn't see
I didn't see
How?
it. So I think I was doing my own thing,
Yeah.
chatting up the group.
Yeah, she was doing her own thing. Then we started talking about, I remember one of the first things I said to her were like, what are those? And I pointed to a plate of nachos, and she said, those are nachos. And I said, I know, I'm just making small talk.
I liked that. I
Yeah.
thought that was such a good like intro.
Yeah. And
That
then
was his first intro?
Like it was, yeah. I mean, he sat down next to me and said, what are those? And I liked that he was like, I'm just making small talk. I feel like it was like the intro into his personality.
And you were trying. That was
Oh, yeah.
Were you trying?
Okay.
oh yeah, instantly I saw her and I was like, oh my God, Vanessa, good call.
Well, no, you said you didn't like it because I was wearing glasses.
I said it wasn't love at first sight
I was going to ask, was it an instant connection for both
because
of
she
you?
was wearing these big glasses. So
I
I
was
couldn't
going-
see her
I don't think
face.
I've ever seen you in
Yeah,
glasses.
she doesn't often wear glasses.
I was going through a lot. And I was wearing the same clothes for like 2 weeks straight. And this was my first venture out.
Yeah.
Not shades, like...
No, they were like, because it was, I think I drove there. Yeah,
Yeah, because you drove me home.
Yeah.
Because she was she never lives in Venice or lived in Venice, and I was living in Venice, and she happened to be staying in an Airbnb for that week in Venice, so it only made sense for her to be like, can I get a ride home?
Wow.
So then I had like an extra 40-minute ride where we just talked.
No, he told me a story that lasted 40 minutes.
Really? What was the story?
I thought he's so sweet and he's so himself, and I was really happy I felt like you had such an ease to you that was rare. Like you were really willing to be like vulnerable. But I also was like, the story's very long.
The story was about me pooping my pants.
Yeah.
And you chose that because...
It's my funniest, best story.
But it was like him talking the entire
So you practiced
drive.
it before.
It's like a 15-minute story.
Rehearsed.
And I was like, I've said it so many times. And then ironically, I believe that you guys probably met for the first time at a bowling alley because remember right before, remember for my TV show premiere, season 1, I had all my friends come in from out of town and we all met at the bowling alley the one time and Kristen was there and I was like, don't make it that, like, don't say anything that I don't want you to say. Remember that?
Okay. Maybe. I remember two times specifically. I remember once, like in the very beginning of their relationship. I remember once after your actual premiere and we like all walked up to my house. I remember that time. And I remember like in that time being like, this girl's really cool. I was like not thinking
that
like...
was your first impression when he's like, meet my girlfriend.
No. It was not his girlfriend. It was a girl he was like... No,
it's the beginning. It was a month.
In my mind, I was his girlfriend.
In your mind, it was official.
Yeah. And then...
now you find... Is this the first time you find out about it?
And then the turning point really in their relationship, I think, was that night at like our birthday party. That was I remember it so clearly. I do. Is
that what it was for you, Kristen? You remember it differently.
It's a bad memory.
It wasn't the best. You weren't like exhibiting the best behavior.
No, I was lashing out. Do you want to hear what happened, Jay?
Please. I do want to hear what happened. Thank you.
We met in like January 31st. We had our birthday party like 6 weeks later. We have joint birthday parties every year. And look, what I'm about to say is pathetic, but they really were like the Super Bowl of like being a single man.
Right.
Like I never would even have I never would even throw myself a birthday party if it weren't for Benny. So now all of a sudden every year I'm having like the most upscale birthday parties planned by him completely where all these people and women
lots of women,
and they know it's like my party, and like so there's just this built-in icebreaker where like people want to come up to me and talk to me, and I just had this feeling that we were gonna start dating. And I, if you know me, you know that I have trouble like wrapping my head around not necessarily commitment, but just like I'm a turn over every stone kind of guy in everything I do. And it really...
The stone was here. There was nothing else to turn over.
Now, as I continue to tell the story, I want you to know that I'm ashamed of my behavior. This is not something that I'm proud of. But I think I just knew that we were going to end up dating. But it was too early to be... Like, I didn't have to commit yet, to be quite honest, which is a really misogynistic thing to say. And I knew that I didn't have to commit. And I also knew my days were numbered of having romantic freedom because I felt like I was about to be totally in a committed relationship. And I think, I don't know, I just kind of like overreacted. But for whatever reason, I went into the night being like, I'm not committed to Kristen tonight. I'm not necessarily going home with Kristen tonight. I'm going to do my own thing.
But because I didn't do, you're making it seem like I went in there being like, we're married.
No, she didn't do anything.
I'd like to hear Kristen.
I
please.
Went in there with like, I think there was like 7 of girlfriends of mine, and I played it so like I don't like to play it cool. It's very hard for me to play it cool. I'm glad that Benny thought I was cool when he first met me, but that's not me. And so I was like, okay, well, this is fun. I like a party. I'm just going to be like free and not expect anything from him. So I didn't all night. And then as the night came to an end, it was kind of like, well, we all know the expectation that we're going to like hang out if we haven't hung out yet. And he just had such a like, I knew exactly what he was doing. Like I could sense what he was doing. And then I think I was like, well, this is lame. And then it got into a little bit of a like, I would say at the end,
a flirt battle.
I'd like to interject here. I'd like to interject.
She started talking to other guys.
Because he was talking to other girls.
I'd like to interject at this moment. There was a flirt battle going on back and forth, and it was like so strange. It was like so strange, and childish in the moment.
It's like a scene out of a movie.
Yeah.
And we were in such a small area because now it was like the after party. It was like it was like 50 people total. And I remember going to the bathroom. There was like a communal bathroom you go into, and I was like with Dave, and we were drunk, and he was just like,
what'd he say?
He was talking about how this was like one of the best nights of his life, and he was like, "No,
is this the first time you're hearing this story?"
Well,
sometimes
I forget the details.
And then
it was a sad time,
basically,
but not really.
He
It
was
wasn't that sad.
It wasn't a happy ending.
In
Happy
the
ending.
moment,
Even that night.
she was talking about like leaving, and like before we went into the bathroom, and she was like visibly upset at this.
She was about to leave. She
was-
might have even just walked out.
Yeah, she did.
And I was
there
like,
was like,
okay.
there was like maybe
You didn't run
I don't
after her?
remember.
I
if
didn't run
there-
after her.
I don't remember if there was tears or anything.
There were tears, but
yeah.
no one saw them. So
And
that's
then-
the tidbit
So
that
she-
I'm providing.
So she walks out, and I remember talking to Dave, and I was like, Dave, I was like, what are you doing? I was like, she's so cool. She's beautiful. And I was, and yeah, it was like his sentiment was kind of like what he was saying, where he's like, what if there's more? Like, I'm so, like, he was like, I'm
By the way,
about to.
this is all.
What if there's more?
No.
that was everything he just said was the subtext, but really all you said, I remember specifically, you were like, I don't know. You were like, I kind of like Badalucco.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah,
well,
that's-
and then,
that's all he had
well,
to
and
say.
then, and
That's
then,
Kristen's last name.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then at the end,
me.
I was like, I was like, I don't know, Chuck. Like, I like Badalucco.
Yeah.
And then
I called her.
he called
She
her,
was like
and then,
one foot in the car.
yeah,
And then she
it
turned
was like
around.
out of a movie.
And
It was.
then we never
Yeah.
split up for.
What was it for you that when this is it, no more stones to be turned over?
Like, I'm not the kind of guy that did what I said I just did at the thing. So I just felt a little bit bad about, I'm just not that guy. And I don't, it's like, what am I looking for someone else when I have such a great person who wants to hang out with me? Now, at that point, I don't think either one of us necessarily knew
I
we
knew.
were going to get married. I don't think you
I
knew we
knew.
were going to get married 6 weeks
I
in.
know. Remember, I think the first thing I said, like on our second date, I was like, "Is this a dead end?" Like,
Well, yeah. So
I was angling for marriage.
So our second date, she said, "Is this a dead end?" It's a second date. If us not getting married is a dead end, it's totally possible that this is a dead end. But if you're saying it's a dead end if we aren't actually married, I can't answer that question.
Because
right?
it's a second date.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But Kristen, from your side, like you're angling for marriage on the second date. Like you're really clear about what you want.
Yeah.
A, what's making it clear that this is the guy you want to be with? And B, what's making you confident to be so clear about what you want? Because I think so many people who listen to the show, I know they actually feel quite scared
Yeah.
on their second date to actually be honest about what they're looking for.
Well, I went into it being like, I was 30 and I'd come out of a long relationship and I felt like I had this whole narrative in my head, which I think the narrative is true, that it's like, why should women have to kind of play like this game of let them chase you? Or like, I feel like there's so often, even with my friends, like even with Dave, they'd be like, don't be too aggressive. Like, don't, because I very much always just said what I wanted, which was like, I like taking out with you. Let's hang out again. And I felt like I didn't want to waste time like letting him drive the relationship. So I just thought it's better off that I figure out if we're a bad fit than like let it go too long. Also, I'm only getting older. And
It is remarkable how infrequent. I went on a lot of dates. I dated a lot of people over a 10-year, not really any seriously, but I went on a lot of dates, and it's very rare that I was held accountable and like, where I feel like oftentimes there are games that are played that are totally predisposed to advantage the man.
Mhm.
And I was very much down to lean into that because it advantaged me.
I was ready to debate. Like I was like waiting for him to
You
be
were
like,
up for the challenge.
yeah, like
you
here are
didn't-
all the reasons why
Yeah.
why I'm not ready or whatever. And then I kind of always came into the situation. Like we were always able to talk about it. Like you would be overwhelmed with like your work and you thought that because if you're dating somebody that means that you can't work and have like a career.
Yeah.
So I was always up for the debate.
Do you want to chime in, Benny?
I think, no, I was thinking about it because it's like, I think we're actually in a time where like, I think it's sexy when a woman does that. Like when Selena was doing that to me, like she was just like her, like very much.
But we
knew
would
what
talk
she-
about it, Selena
Yeah.
and I. We would.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you have to go for these. You have to go after them.
Yeah. And it made me be like, whoa, like it was like cool. It's like cool. I was like, oh my God, yeah, I want like, because Dave is saying like, you know, sometimes when you're dating someone, they might not want to say something to rock the boat. And like, I love when Selena would turn over. It'd be 3 a.m. and we were dating for like 3 weeks, and she'd be like, "Well, what are we?" And I was like, "What?" And then she was like, "Well, when I go to New York this weekend, what am I going to tell people we are?" And I was like, she like caught me so off guard. It's cool to have that dynamic where like both people are like on that same level. And I think I do see it like. I feel like I do because a lot of my friends are like that, where I see women starting to do that a lot more now. And I think it's cool. Like, I think it shows like such a confidence. Like, you know, some people look at it like, some of my friends look at it like, oh, like that's so needy, or I'm like, that's a person telling you exactly what they want. Like, I don't want to play these games. Like, and it's
okay to be needy. Like, I think it's okay to just exist exactly how you are. And if
Selena will say that in the morning. She'll be like, today's a needy day. Yeah. And she'll be, when you are with someone who can, because it's so hard when you're trying to play a guessing game. Like when you're trying to talk with your partner who doesn't express themselves, it's so difficult to meet them in the right place. And then they're like harboring all this resentment. But yeah, like Selena will wake up in the morning and she'll say, okay, today's like a needy day. I need you to be like extra nice to me, extra gentle. And then you are set up for success because you know what to do.
Yeah. I should say on behalf of Dave, like I did trust my instincts, which was that I could tell that Dave, like I knew who he was as a person, and I knew it was just his anxieties that were kind of like overriding this entire situation. It wasn't like I was like totally shooting in the dark.
Totally. When I look back on it, like it is crazy to me that now that I know her and everything, that I wasn't after the first day, week, whatever, being like, oh my God, that's the person I'm going to, like, to me, it's so obvious, like, that she is my soulmate.
But it was
and
the
only reason I wasn't, but truly the only reason I didn't see it was because of my own anxieties wouldn't even allow me to see it. Because as soon as we started spending more time together, I was like, she's the funniest, most beautiful, perfect. I couldn't even believe that it was a debate.
And what I said to myself, I said, I feel like I was in a lot of relationships where I didn't always feel like I was the one that like chased, or I had like all of the agency. And I would, after my last relationship before Dave, I was like, I want to chase the person I marry, and I want to be the one that's like choosing, because so often you kind of, I don't know, I felt like so many of my past relationships were more like, you know, like you're
being pursued.
Yeah. Or like, it's just easier to stay, whatever, than go. So with Dave, well, before Dave, I was like, I want to like chase my husband. Like, I want to be like, I really know that I want this, not like this is easy.
But I feel like it set them up for such success, because when I look at them, there couldn't be more even in a relationship. And like, I feel like that's when a relationship wins. Like, no person has the upper hand in their relationship. There's no like there's like funny like banter back and forth, and I love that. But it's like they truly, like, watching both of them, they truly want each other to win. And then that's when I feel like that's when the relationship works. I've been in relationships where the person is secretly like
competitive.
They're like competitive. Or I've been in relationships where something good happens to me and I'm keeping it from the person because I'm scared. Or like I had a time where like I like won some big award and I went into a closet to answer the call and be excited because I was too scared. And like, that's like the worst type of relationship to be in. Like, I want to be in a relationship where like my partner is like, cares more about, like they like feel like they care more about you than their own thing. And you feel that way too. And you guys are just like the ultimate cheerleader for each other.
Yeah. Well, you guys, I mean, what's amazing though, is that you guys are living the dream, because you guys are best friends. And then your wife and your best friend are really great friends.
Yeah.
And that's so special. And the fact that you guys used to do your birthdays together. The fact that you also got married in the same year.
Yeah, same, I mean, like month apart.
Same month.
And she's so close to Selena too.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's perfect.
I'm so happy it worked. Like, you know when one of your friends dates someone that you're like, oh, and like, and you never, no, it's crazy.
What would you have done? What would you have done?
Oh my God, I've been that guy. I've dated someone where I've dated multiple people where, I mean, one time I broke up with the person I was with, and my friends wanted to throw me a party. Like, and I said, well, why didn't anyone tell me when I was in it? And they said, well, what are we supposed to tell you?
Yeah,
they said,
tough.
we made gestures and
Yeah.
Dave, have you ever made gestures to Benny in that way?
No, I wouldn't.
He has slightly in his own way, not as blunt as
I keep it real. If anyone's I don't care who you are. If anyone's behaved, I just like to speak about the facts at hand. So I always.
He's a fact-based.
I'm a helping hand with anyone who wants to analyze the facts at hand. But love is a particular thing that sometimes transcends fact. So
wow,
pretty good, right, Jay?
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
That's like you've found something there. I was like, wow, that is beautiful.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. It's like